direction to take the channel.
Live streaming has been like the most intrinsically motivating part of my work that I've ever had before. I am a little bit fearful that it's kind of tainting my character and my brand image of like, you know, being more like Adonis and peaceful, because naturally in this state of like this hyperactive chat and, you know, you get into emotional rants and everything which perform better on live streams.
The best answer to Hamza's question would come in the form of a comment that read, "Hamza, the criticism is due to you doing the opposite of what Hamza a year ago would have done. The sudden switch in content is strange for your viewers. You are a completely different person now. Just don't forget how you started, bro. Build your brand, do your thing. Just don't expect to retain your original audience because you told them to get off YouTube and not watch low return on investment live streams like this one." Despite the obvious drawbacks to ranting on stream, Hamza continued to feed into his egotistical side while masking it as self-improvement advice.
So I just went on a little rant then talking about, you know, porn being bad for us and stuff. And this anime profile picture motherfucker just came into the chat and said, "Forgive us for having fun, Hamza." Just went on a little rant that porn and is bad for you, and this anime profile picture motherfucker just came in and said, "Forgive us for having fun, Hamza."
Hamza had gone beyond providing well-meaning advice and was now shaming anyone who made lifestyle choices he didn't agree with. Naturally, Hamza's viewers pointed out his shift in behavior and likened his stream to be something Sneeko would make, with comments reading, "I love watching you, Sneeko, thanks for another entertaining live stream," as well as, "I'd sub to watch actual useful content and maybe get some insight, not to watch mindless rants in a car. Since Hamza has started live streaming, I feel like the quality on the channel has taken a massive hit." Berating viewers for straying from a set path was only one of the things that made Hamza lose his cool on stream. The other one was when anyone questioned his masculinity.
"You speaking about how masculine you are makes her dryad in the Sahara Desert. Aravind Nair."
He's back at it again.
Yeah, I think you should date her, bro. You seem like the champion who knows about girls better than I do, bro.
Hamza would take things a step further by starting a very heated exchange with a random viewer and asking for his Discord username.
"Aravind, what's your Discord, mate? Let's get you on a Discord call, bro. Let's see you flirt with her." "Yeah, Aravind, what's your name?" "Aravind Nair." So this guy keeps leaving fucking hateful comments in this stream so far, calling me cringe, saying that I'm drying her up and stuff. Okay, Aravind Nair, drop your Discord. We'll hop onto a Discord call with you right now and we'll see your flirting game.
For the next several minutes, Hamza would repeatedly ask for the viewer's Discord name while taking every opportunity to make fun of him.
"Your Discord, Aravind, come on." Boys, if Aravind doesn't come onto the call with me, I'm just gonna end the live stream, man. He's made me sad. We need him. Everyone spam him and make sure he comes onto a video call with us. Aravind, come on, man. We want to hear about how you flirt because clearly you're better than me.
Hamza's facade of confidence was slowly giving way to insecurity, but it seemed he was too far gone to notice, which escalated things even further.
Hugo Orton donated $2. "Aravind, do it, bro. I'll spy you as well." "Showing off your girl is so insecure. Self-improvement is masturbation. All you do is tell others to fix their lives while you're a kid yourself." Me and you should have a discussion, bro, Aravind. Discord call right now, bro. It'll be entertaining.
For the rest of the video, Hamza bounced between trying to justify his actions by claiming he was only making jokes out of hate comments.
You can tell what kind of man someone is by their response. So this Aravind guy, I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but he was just sat here whilst we were just, you know, speaking about self-improvement. He's just leaving hate and everything, saying, "Oh, you know, hop onto the Discord call so we can just make fun of him, and, you know, he'll come in and he'll start stuttering and, you know, he'll just be weird and he'll apologize or something." But you can truly tell what kind of person, like, a man is, what kind of comments they leave.
And deflecting any criticism thrown his way by demanding a fight.
"Aravind Nair, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I make money actually helping others, not just spouting the same bullshit to a fatherless audience." Aravind, you're pissing off a lot of people here, Aravind. I think there's like 20 people that would want to fight you.
Even though Hamza couldn't see the mistakes he was making, a significant portion of his audience did, and they were very disappointed, with comments reading, "Hamza's life has taken a left turn. It's sad to see. Hope him the best and hope he recovers from being a Jeffrey." Real title, Hamza being a Jeffrey versus Jeffrey. As well as, "This video will be a reminder not to let my ego take a hold of me." Eventually, Hamza would put an end to the rage-fueled live streams and return to his usual Jeffrey vs Adonis and unfiltered content, which was a welcomed change. However, by the 1st of February 2023, Hamza would make yet another radical shift in his career, with a video titled, "I Fulfilled My Purpose."
You know, I've been on this journey for over 2 years, dedicating myself fully to this. Every single day I've woke up and thought about spreading this message of self-improvement. This has been my purpose for over 2 years. And a little while ago, I completed this layer of my purpose, and I'm on to the next layer.
Hamza went on to announce that he'd no longer be putting out frequent uploads, and stated that he'd be dissolving his production team as a result.
I've made the hard decision now, after weighing this up so many times, after speaking to my close friend who helps me make these decisions, Sam. I've made the hard decision now to stop this content production machine that we had here, this huge team that we had of 7 video editors and TikTok guys and sales guys and Twitter guys, and I let every single one go, including Sam Harbonator, my best friend who's worked for me for over 2 years.
According to Hamza, the drastic change to the channel was a byproduct of outgrowing the influencer lifestyle and in pursuit of his personal development.
My new layer of my purpose for me to focus on is my own development as a man. I no longer care about being a YouTuber or an influencer or a celebrity or a man with fame or anything like this.
Surprisingly, Hamza would set his sights on a far more arduous path of becoming a fighter.
And the angle that it's currently fixated on, my mind, my heart and my soul, is fighting, competition, martial arts. That's what I'm throwing myself into fully.
While becoming a fighter was Hamza's new direction in life, he still maintained the need to share helpful advice and personal experiences with his audience.
What I do still have some positive feeling about is the beauty of passing knowledge to each other. I no longer want to see this as a YouTube channel that I'm trying to grow. I want to see this as me genuinely just sitting down, turning the camera on when I have some actually like really valuable knowledge to give to you, some really valuable.
From the outside looking in, it seemed Hamza had gotten over his egotistical side and was trying to realign his life with a higher purpose. This was the type of change viewers were looking for, as the comment section was flooded with positive messages encouraging Hamza on his latest endeavor, reading, "We must move on and share the knowledge of self-improvement to other young men. Thank you, Hamza." As well as, "Damn dude, you left a hell of a legacy. You are a legend among men, and I know you're going to succeed in your next purpose. Godspeed, brother." And another comment foreshadowing what was going to happen. The next few guides were some of the best Hamza stuff ever, and it was downhill from there. By the following week, Hamza kept to his promise and uploaded an hour-long guide on how his viewers could find purpose in their life. Even though the value derived from the video was subjective, it was a step in the right direction and showed Hamza was committed to improving himself.
Today we're going to cover how purpose works as a masculine man, and my intention with this, my hope is that by the end of this video you will be convinced that this is the only way to live.
All Hamza had to do to maintain his legacy was keep his ego in check, deliver high-quality content whenever he uploaded, and follow through on becoming a fighter. Tragically, Hamza would fall short on almost all these expectations, and seemingly betray every core value he's set up so far. Around a month after Hamza announced his decision to drop content creation and become a fighter, he seemingly returned to a frequent upload schedule. While the videos had tuned down editing and were fairly long, you wouldn't expect Hamza to start uploading again after claiming he was no longer interested in being a YouTuber. Stranger still, Hamza doubled down on the business side of his platform with the launch of Adonis Academy, a monthly membership that offered direct coaching from Hamza on how young men could take action in self-improvement.
That's why I've started, and it's something that I'm like selling, so it's like, you know, if you don't want to spend money, you can click away, no, absolutely no problem. My videos are still free, the Discord server is still there and everything.
The major selling point for Hamza's new community was 3 weekly calls that allowed members to ask for advice on topics like health, wealth, and relationships.
3 calls a week, which will be split up into the areas of health, wealth, relationships. So on Monday we'll have a call, Wednesday we'll have a call, Friday we'll have a call, health, wealth, relationships on each one.
Although Hamza had offered paid products before, the difference this time was that instead of selling pre-recorded content, Hamza was taking his time directly to teach and mentor members.
What I'm going to tell you right now is this is like a work in project. This is not something that I'm just going to kind of set up and, you know, I can't leave. Like, this is literally based on me just being your teacher. Right now, I'm like a guy who makes YouTube videos I want to be more of like a teacher where we actually have like more of like a communication together.
To sweeten the deal, Hems would also include other perks, like access to his previous $400 courses, exclusive meetups in the UK, and dedicated video lessons, all for $99 a month.
It will be $99 a month, which is a recurring membership. So every month it'll be $99. This is usually where like the salesmen and stuff, they'll try and justify the price and they'll tell you like, oh yeah, but it is worth it because of this. But no. Like literally, it's $99 a month. It's a recurring membership. The top link in the description, you can go check out. Go click that right now. I'm not gonna try and like justify it to you.
Even though a majority of fans were thrilled to be a part of Hamza's new direction for the channel, there were also those who were still curious about what happened to his fighter career. By the 1st of June 2023, Hamza would publish a video explaining why becoming a fighter was no longer his purpose, and the reason he was more focused on making more money.
So a few months ago, I posted a video saying that I had fulfilled my purpose and that I was gonna go into the mountains to go train martial arts. And I still receive comments of why I didn't do that. Oh, Hamza, I thought you were gonna become a fighter. Now, I explained in a video already, but I put it in like, it was like 2 hours into the video, so a lot of people didn't see it. So I just wanted to explain it here because I still see comments about it.
Hamza would go on to state that after the first day at the fight camp, he felt the experience, quote, didn't feel authentic.
And I just asked myself a question, is this authentic? Is this genuinely where I want to be, what I want to focus on? Or, just be honest, are you here right now because it'll get you validation from people online?
It's worth remembering that no one asked Hamza to become a fighter. In fact, he chose that path because he assumed it would be a masculine thing to do. And at the time, he didn't sound like he was trying to impress anyone. After all, he fired his entire team and told viewers he was no longer interested in vanity metrics like subscribers or ad revenue. Hamza had always been the type of creator that spoke about things with conviction and a black and white mentality. But after going against his own standards, he decides it's time to move the goalpost.
But I realized that you can't live a life of inauthenticity. If there's something that you genuinely feel as a man that you should be doing, which is right for you, and you don't do that because something else might get you more validation from the people around you, you live this shallow life based on these internet comments.
In an effort to justify this decision, Hamza claimed his true fans would gladly jump at the product he was selling, and that any critique for said product was coming from Jeffries.
A bunch of your real true fans who are looking and thinking, wait, he's just released something which I could buy and I could probably get closer to him or I could learn more from him. That's awesome. And these are your like proper true fans, and so they'll buy anything or they'll look at it and be like, oh man, I can't afford it, but that is awesome. I wish I could afford it. But there's like a 0.1 thing, like the lone like little corner of Jeffries where they just get agitated when you're making money.
For the rest of the video, Hamza would present his move to teach selling courses as the best way to help his male audience. However, was Hamza truly equipped to lecture people on how to be business owners, or was he simply going to sell viewers on a dream and tell them to copy his formula of selling self-improvement courses?
The idea is like, you learn how to make a community which you get paid for. You bring people who have got similar interests together, because I genuinely think, by the way, I'll just give you a random tip, I genuinely think that there's one business model which is the best right now, like possible, and it's private communities.
At the end of the day, Hamza was free to take his channel in any direction he saw fit. However, this change in mentality would mark the beginning of a very turbulent time in Hamza's community, as the focus shifted away from what was best for men more towards what Hamza thought was best. By October 2023, Hamza would announce a new chapter in his life of starting a family.
Moved into the rural mountains of Scotland with my woman, and soon we're gonna buy a home and we're gonna have children. I'm gonna move up my family here. I'm gonna move up like families that I love, and I'm gonna create this dream into a reality. But basically, I'm starting the fatherhood chapter of my life.
Hamza was so convicted that this was the right decision to take things that he would change his channel description to reflect it, with the description reading, "Preparing to be a father." Unfortunately, similar to his previous life-altering plans, Hamza wouldn't follow through with it, and decided to go for the easier option. In a now-deleted video, Hamza would describe how a date with a Russian woman changed his perspective on Western women.
I'm sat here with this genuinely like beautiful, but also very, very intelligent based sophisticated, classy young woman. Like, very impressive. That's what I'll say. It's very, very impressive.
Naturally, Hamza's viewers wondered why he was going on another path when he just announced the fatherhood chapter of his life, and it wouldn't be long before they got an answer.
The reason why me and my ex split up is because we did this little exercise together where I told her to sit down and to write down like her goals and the season of life that she wanted to get into. So both of us had our laptops out and we wrote about, okay, for the next few months, what kind of life do we want to live?
Hamza went on to explain that him and his ex-girlfriend wanted to go on separate paths in life that weren't compatible.
But she saw it, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I could see how like offended she was, where she was quite like pressuring. She was like, wait, you want to do this? Oh, you want to do that? You want to stay up late, but that's unhealthy. And I understood, it is fair enough. What I'm saying is like, oh yeah, like I kind of want to be a little bit more sleep deprived. And she just couldn't really see that this was like me just being authentic, that this was the life I wanted to live. So there was quite a lot of like judgment from her. And when I saw that judgment, I thought, yeah, like maybe we're not actually compatible for the next season.
As you'd expect, Hamza's audience wasn't very pleased with his indecisive attitude and constantly changing opinions, with comments reading, "What I learned from this video is that I wouldn't take advice from Hamza on maintaining long-term relationships," as well as, "You promised her the world, but you couldn't even keep your word. You were the problem here, mate." This guy changes his opinions every month, making bold claims to his audience and immediately going back on his word or changing his opinion was becoming a very common occurrence in Hamza's videos. In the past, Hamza claimed men should focus on finding a quote high-quality woman and settle down, but now that he was faced with the same reality, he backed out, and his other opinions on men dedicating themselves to improving their minds and body gave way to telling men to make as much money as possible by paying for his monthly membership. Speaking of which, by early 2024, one of Hamza's former students would come out with less than positive opinions about their time in his paid community. On the 5th of January, a user by the name of Dante would upload a video detailing the more darker aspects to Hamza's Adonis school.
One morning, Hamza posted something that would cause mass panic among the members. He said by the end of the day, he would be kicking over 100 low-contributing members. Now keep in mind, some of these people paid $500 to join and were being threatened by the ban hammer. Although it seems Hamza was gauging the price people were willing to pay and then kicking those who got in at a lower price.
To add insult to injury, Hamza would end up kicking everyone out of the community anyway.
As just 2 weeks later, he disbanded the school as a whole, wasting all of our time and money, just to reopen it and charge a $500 one-time entry fee.
Dante went on to elaborate on his time in Hamza Academy in an interview with a creator named Regan Nice.
So I can't comment too much on it because I'm not a member of his paid community, I just want to put that out there. But I've had, at this point, about 30 people reach out to me who were ex-members, and they said a lot of the stuff along the lines of they joined and they found that the information that was on the group was stuff that they could easily find online for free. Would you say that is accurate?
Those people are absolutely correct. What's in the actual community is the same thing you get from his videos. You can, look on his channel, and all of the information in the community is just, I guess you could say, maybe a little better within the packaging. It's nice courses with PDFs and trackers and all these other things, but it's basically what's in his videos repackaged, but it's all the same information at the end of the day.
To show just how manipulative Hamza was when confronted with his own failing, Dante shared a comment he left under one of his videos.
He had something where he told his viewers to copy paste this and screenshot this because he's going to delete it. So, I think that's pretty manipulative. He since edited the comment, but this is, and I quote, "This is really sad, Dante. You were a great student. I helped you one-on-one with your mom's passing. I agreed to go on a call with your father. You seem to fit in and love Adonis School so much. He made multiple testimonial videos saying it was great." That's exactly what he said.
Not only was Hamza willing to deflect criticism by weaponizing such an intimate detail of someone's life, but he also saw no issue with sending his viewers after him.
So you got a 27-year-old man framing a 15-year-old kid as the bad guy, and then sending hundreds of thousands, possibly, of his audience to go and talk crap on your name. Something about that just doesn't sit right with me,
Mm-hmm. And something that's even more sad is that his audience believes it.
On the 4th of August 2024, Hamza would respond to the situation by providing his side of the story. In a video titled "Hamza Responds to the Scammer" video, he'd reveal evidence which displayed that Dante made the video out of bad faith in order to slander his name, providing screenshots showing Dante's testimonials and success within his group, as well as going into just how far he went to support Dante, which included sending him his personal necklace as well as a handwritten letter.
You know what I did? I didn't send him a DM. I did not send him a DM about this video that he posted. I got a piece of paper and a pen and I hand wrote him a letter. I took off my necklace that I was wearing in like all the videos, or it was like a silver one, and I posted it to the US.
Hamza sent me personal gifts, like this necklace and this note.
He says that I never helped him, and he said this multiple times in like podcasts that he's went on to try and like attack me and my brand. And here's a message from him. I wanted to express my gratitude for the necklace and the handwritten note you gave me. I haven't taken the necklace off since I got it, and the note genuinely made me tear up. You're a great example of what a leader should be like. Charismatic and selfless. I don't know the word for this, but you do things like writing notes and picking out things for your cult members, like your fans. And there's a picture of me with the necklace.
To make matters worse, he also displayed evidence of Dante bragging about the video's performance, which made the entire situation appear as though Dante used and enjoyed Hamza's service and then turned on him when he could gain some clout or make a profit. But despite this, Hamza still received a lot of criticism. Hamza's inability to notice his own faults and biases had slowly eaten away at his reputation, and it would take a very stern interview with Chris Williamson for him to even begin to see that.
The problem you have there is, as soon as you posit an ideal, you can then compare yourself to that ideal. And if this ends up being wrong, like if actually the thing that you need to do is become a fighter because fighting men have always been warriors, and then 3 weeks later you're like, I don't know, fighting's not for me. And then it's like, I'm in my dad era, like I can't wait to start relationship's gone. Like, the more hard the stake is that you hit into the ground, the more difficult it's going to be to pull back out.
When Hamza initially started the Adonis movement, he based it on 5 simple values: discipline, humility, presence, gratitude, and leadership. Sadly, Hamza failed to live up to 3 of these values multiple times in his career. Hamza frequently presents his opinions as bold fact that his impressionable audience should emulate, when even he couldn't meet the standards he set. However, it seems Hamza wasn't too far gone to notice his mistakes. In one of his recent videos titled I Fell Off Self-Improvement, Hamza would acknowledge some of his faults and attempt to own up to them.
Because I'd seen it with, Conor McGregor and athletes and everything. They always kind of like discipline themselves in the early days, then they build success, and then they just kind of like lose it all because of random mistakes that they made. And I always used to see that and be like, oh yeah, not me, bro, not me. And then I just find myself in this situation, because when you do reach success, it's like, it's so easy for everyone who hypes you up for it to get to your head.
Hamza would even try to see things from the perspective of his viewers, and took note of how difficult it would be to watch their favorite creator make easily avoidable mistakes.
And I must say, from your perspective, it must have been annoying as fuck and like cringe. They're so fucking cringe to see me make decisions that I didn't even stick to, where I'd randomly flip-flop and change my mind.
Although the video showed Hamza trying to be authentic, the comment section would tell a completely different story. Before Hamza was able to delete it, Regan screenshotted a comment that showed the intentions behind the upload.
As expected, instead of just being a man and owning up to his mistakes, Hamza's ego wouldn't allow that, and he had to play some sort of manipulation game. Unfortunately, he made one lethal mistake, which was forgetting to perception manage in the comments from the get-go. He let his little mask slip off, insulted Dante once again, and lied in the comments, and then later deleted the evidence when he figured out his mistake.
Even after his ego-driven actions had tarnished his reputation, chased away a significant portion of the Adonis School members, and caused his viewership to stagnate, Hamza was still being disingenuous with his community. Whether or not this behavior will continue is completely up to Hamza. Will he truly put his ego aside and become an Adonis, or will he hold on to it and remain a Jeffrey? Speaking of creators who set themselves up for failure, Boogie2988's own actions made his eventual downfall seem almost inevitable. Boogie2988, aka Steve Williams, is currently undergoing the biggest downfall of his career.
No, I don't!
You just sat here.
I'll destroy mine all day, and my dad is dead, and my mom is dead. I'll talk about those pieces till they fucking rot.
Yeah, but Chad and Desi aren't dead.
He's on the verge of bankruptcy.
I think my net worth is 0. Once you pull the equity out of the house, get rid of the house debt, sell off all my collectibles, and pay off all my debts, I think that puts me at $0.
And has alienated almost his entire audience through his lies, scams, and manipulative behavior.
Like I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last 2 years.
It's fine, Boogie. Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this. I have to do the verifying test.
We'll be looking at the disturbing downfall of one of YouTube's OG creators, Boogie2988, the man who was once considered the Mr. Rogers of the internet and regularly amazed fans with his down-to-earth and positive personality.
Of my size, regardless of the things that I have endured, inflicted upon myself, and have been inflicted upon me. And they ask me why I can be happy, why I can be soft when the world has tried to make me hard. I think the answer to that question is very simple. And what makes me different from a lot of people that might be in the same predicament or same situations that I've been in is that I've maintained hope.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but...
Boogie, you make me feel human. Thank you for existing. Thank you, Boogie. That was very powerful. You're an inspiration to us all. And you're an awesome human, Boogie. Thanks for making this video. Until he threw it all away in the pursuit of women, fame, and money.
You're on a lot of medicine, Boogie. Is any of those medicines an SSRI?
Go f yourself. I will divulge no more medical information to any of you motherfuckers.
This is, you ain't got to tell me what it is. Like, there's a bevy of medicine.
But Boogie wasn't always the hateable villain that he is today. He's been around since 2006, when YouTube was dominated by homemade vlogs and funny cat videos. At the beginning of his career, Boogie was known as the overweight but lovable nerdy guy, who most people found charming because he openly embraced his flaws and didn't shy away from making fun of himself.
You're the fat ass! No, you're the fat ass! You're the fat ass!
For my younger viewers, he was kind of like the queso of early YouTube. When he wasn't playing the over-the-top Fat Francis character, Boogie would engage with his audience by sharing details about his personal life, childhood, and financial situation.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie to 988 coming at you live once again to the power of the internet. You may not know me as Boogie to 988. You may know me as my character Francis, who gets really angry all the time and breaks stuff, but that's okay. I'm just glad you know me at all. A lot of people have asked me to draw my life story, and it's kind of sad, but I'd like to do that for you now.
His advice about money in particular was a breath of fresh air for his subs, who found him relatable and loved how responsible he was with his finances.
I want to remind you that this is a brand new medium that is very, very lucrative. And you could be as successful as me, you could be as successful as some of the top tier YouTubers who are making millions of dollars. You too could be bringing $200,000 or $300,000 a year, like FalsiTube, or sorry, a month, like FalsiTube, and spend it on whatever the hell you want.
This would allow him to slowly grow his channel, Patreon, and unlock a new source of income through Twitch when it launched in 2011.
I mean, that's one. Oh shit! Oh shit!
He was even named 2016's Trending Gamer of the Year.
And the Trending Gamer, the Game Award goes to Boogie 2988.
By 2017, Boogie had broken through the 4 million subscribers mark on YouTube and even earned enough money to pay for his weight loss surgery.
Holy moly. So this is going to be a very short video to let you guys know that I'm home from surgery, that everything went well, and tell you a few stories surrounding the experience.
This was a milestone moment for both him and his community, who had supported him unconditionally up until this point. Unfortunately, this surgery would also mark the start of Boogie's downfall. Not long after the surgery, Boogie announced splitting up from his wife through a video titled, "It's True. Wife and I are getting a divorce. Here's what's next." In the video, he explained how in the lead up to surgery, their marriage was already in a rough spot, while admitting that his anxiety disorder was the real problem.
Our marriage was far from perfect. Me and my wife had one major issue that was persistent throughout the entire marriage, and that was my anxiety disorder, my clinically diagnosed PTSD. Man, I probably should never even say this publicly, but I think she'd forgive me, and even if she doesn't, we're divorced now, so I don't have to worry about it. We're in a loop in which my anxiety was so bad that she was kind of walking on eggshells all the time because she was afraid of scaring me, upsetting me, hurting me. And the way she reacted to my anxiety was very frequently with fight or flight. And for her, that mostly meant fight.
His wife had wanted to separate for a long time, but just was waiting for him to get healthier. And once he started losing weight, she felt it was finally the right time to initiate the divorce.
Towards the middle of October, she told me that she was thinking about separating now that I was out of the surgery and now that I was nice and healthy. We talked about it and decided that she should take a break in November, which she did. She was gone for about 3 weeks, and about 2 weeks into that, she called up and said that she had made her decision, that she wanted things to be a more permanent change, and that we should start moving in that direction.
According to Boogie, the divorce was amicable, with both sides agreeing to part ways peacefully. His wife even offered to take less than 50% of his assets.
But one day we're talking about money, and I'm like, what do you want? She's like, I want what's fair.
She said, "I want."
She's like, "I want what's fair. I want enough to where I know I'm going to be taken care of for a good while. That's all I worry about." And I'm like, "Okay." So she gave me a number, and I'm like, "But that's not half." And she's like,
What do you mean it's not half? More?
It wasn't half of what we were worth.
It was less.
It was less.
But despite the mutual understanding, the legal system in the US still required Boogie to give her half of everything he owned.
Yeah, that's how it works in Arkansas, and so like she's legally entitled to 50%.
At first, Boogie seemed to come to terms with how things played out, accepting the situation for what it was. However, it didn't take long for the cracks to show. Fans who watched his video after the divorce could tell something had shifted. What was once Boogie's wholesome and helpful advice to viewers began to feel like the start of a downward spiral, one that he never truly recovered from. The rambling videos that had once focused on helping his audience now seemed more like a cry for help. Over time, these videos became an outlet for him to seek sympathy for his struggles with depression and anxiety. Despite all of this, Boogie managed to retain much of his audience, who still believed in his potential to bounce back and return to the happy, healthier version of himself. It even seemed like Boogie himself had realized how bad things had gotten, and was ready to put in the effort to revive his channel.
First off, let's say 2018, as we've talked about, was one of the roughest years of my life, and it really showed here on the channel. It shows the content that I produced. Sometimes I was super engaged, sometimes I wasn't. Sometimes the Francis stuff was incredible, sometimes it was miserable. Sometimes I would just I didn't feel like making a video, so I would make a rambling video, and I would just complain and whine and just be miserable. And that's the person I was in 2018.
After posting the last video about his divorce in October 2018, Boogie followed up with another video titled State of the Channel in 2019. In this video, he openly admitted that his storytime rambling videos had turned into a way to gain sympathy, and that the pity party needed to end.
Because sharing who and what I am has been counterproductive in quite a bit in the last year or so. Mostly when it comes to the mental issues, the anxiety, the depression, stuff like that. The reason being is because these days there's a more negative impact about that stuff.
While he seemed enthusiastic about improving his content, it was too late. His subscriber count had already begun to steadily decline, and then another incident occurred that would permanently damage his reputation. During his divorce proceedings, Boogie began dating a woman named Lucy. They met on the controversial dating site Seeking.com, a platform designed to connect sugar daddies with sugar babies, offering companionship or more in exchange for monetary compensation. At first, Boogie denied any involvement in the sugar baby arrangement, claiming, also, treating her nice and being cool to her and being a good, successful, happy person that she could be attracted to also works. It's a lot cheaper too. But he would eventually be outed as a liar when his account on Seeking was uncovered a short while later after this tweet. This discovery forced Boogie to come clean once and for all, using an alt account named Uberwolf on his own subreddit. But the drama didn't end there. About 6 months after the divorce was filed, Lucy released a video sharing her side of the story, which she posted on Boogie's subreddit. According to her, the relationship was a far from pleasant experience, describing him as an asshole.
So I dated a YouTuber, and for his sake, I'm just gonna call him asshole.
She accused him of verbally abusing her whenever she wanted to leave him, and mentioned how he didn't even pay for her services like he was supposed to.
It would turn into an argument every time I tried to leave. Why are you trying to leave me? You know I need somebody right now. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I'd wait for him to finish up doing his work and whatever, and pretty much I was not making any income. I was scraping to get by, to be honest with you. Like, I'd ask him, hey, can I put some money into my bank account so I wouldn't get an overdraft? Okay, well, here's, $20. Cool. So I would do that, and then, I have bills to pay.
In response to this backlash, Boogie decided to clear the air by going on Keemstar's show Drama Alert and presenting his own version of the event.
The only way she can make money is if she's at home doing her cam girl stuff, right? And that you wouldn't let her leave the house. Is that true?
But she didn't live here. She lives at home, where she has her own home.
He claimed that Lucy was his girlfriend and a gold digger, not a sugar baby he hired from Seeking.com.
It sounds like in the video that she's low on money. Has she been asking you for money?
Man, I don't feel comfortable talking about anything, but she's a girl who's always needed a little help from time to time, and I don't know, I don't know what to say about that.
So for those who won't see it on Drama Alert, I'll put it here. Final word on this. We dated 10 weeks. It didn't work out. She had bad feelings about it, which she is entitled to have. Sorry it worked out that way. Nothing but love for her. Go and watch and support her. Keemstar's approach throughout the interview was notably neutral, allowing Boogie to present his narrative with minimal pushback. As a result, some viewers felt this gave Boogie the opportunity to shape the story in his favor without being thoroughly questioned.
Do you think that maybe she is taking advantage of you being a big YouTuber or whatever?
Man.
However, for many, Boogie's continued denial of meeting Lucy through Seeking.com only reinforced doubts about his honesty. While this didn't cause an immediate decline in his channel's popularity, it did lead some fans to view him as an unreliable narrator. That was until another bombshell about Boogie would drop that left him scrambling to defend himself. Just 3 days after Boogie uploaded his State of the Channel in 2019 video, a 5,000-word mega thread was posted on a subreddit by an anonymous user titled "The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know. Criticism Mega Thread." It basically called him out for being a hypocrite and the opposite of the nice guy who was pretending to be for his audience. One major criticism was Boogie's disturbing behavior on stream, which contrasted sharply with his YouTube persona. In one specific incident, Boogie's Twitch was being critiqued by a YouTuber, Actual Jake, and his partner. Boogie responded to this by jumping on the call with them and threatening to send his dog to the pound.
I only block people who call me names. And if you can prove to me,
If it's not
the reason I blocked you is that you called me no names this summer. If you can prove to me you showed me no names this summer, I will literally take Sam to the pound.
Just a gorilla.
I will literally take him to the pound and find him a new home. I swear.
Please don't do that. What?
Yeah, please don't do that. We love animals too much.
I will find. No, I'm saying I will find him a new home. I will find him. A new home.
Keep your dog.
Keep your dog, please.
I want you to keep your dog.
The mega thread also highlighted some of Boogie's more troubling statements, including 1. His shocking claim that good things came from the Holocaust.
And so the third book was on the Holocaust. I don't remember the name of it. And so I'm reading the book, and here's something I found fascinating in this book. It's so depressing, this book. But they were talking about the Japanese experiments. I do remember them doing open heart surgeries on people that didn't need open heart surgeries, like some really crazy shit. And so what I found out from this book is a lot of Nazi scientists and doctors were given asylum in the United States in exchange for the knowledge they had possessed. I didn't know that. But if you think about it, a lot of some good came from all of that, in that health science was advanced many, many years.
2. Suggesting that a victim of domestic abuse should be hanged, and 3. Using the threat of to guilt trip his fans into supporting him.
I'm hoping when I get too old, I just get assisted medical suicide rather than go that way than an agonizing death. Yeah, I hear you. I think when the time comes, I'm gonna have no problem pulling the trigger, or like once I've fully given up hope, once I'm fully ready to go, once the internet has forgotten about me and you guys you don't need me anymore and I'm not needed around anymore, and if I haven't found a wife and I haven't had kids or something like that and I haven't had the life that I wanted for myself, and I'm just miserable and alone, I don't think I'll have any problem pulling the trigger.
But while the thread was damning for people who read it, it was still posted to a fairly lesser-known subreddit, r/Sam and Tolkien, and it likely would have never reached the majority of Boogie's fans if he didn't broadcast it to his audience. But Boogie being Boogie, he couldn't resist on going on a rant about the entire subreddit, accusing them of being out to get him for the past 3 years.
This subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet for the last 3 years.
Doing this only fueled his critics further, turning Boogie's once overwhelmingly positive comment section back in 2017 into a wall of hate and criticism. His subscriber count also took a major hit, with Boogie losing over 100,000 subscribers in just 4 months. At this point, unable to handle the mounting criticism, Boogie released a video titled "Taking a Break, I Give Up, You Guys Win." During the video, he announced that he would be taking a break from YouTube to focus on his mental health.
And I'm really anxious, and I'm really nervous. So I thought I should get away for a little while.
Unfortunately, this only worsened things for his channel, as viewers began to realize that Boogie had lost the passion for creating content, and was struggling to come up with new ideas to grow his audience. Even after returning from his quote mental health break, Boogie's posts on his channel became more sporadic, and his views reflected that, dropping from more than 10 million views per month in January 2018 to just over 2 million views per month in October 2019. And by the start of 2020, his channel, which used to provide some of the most uplifting and wholesome content content on YouTube had devolved into a platform for Boogie to complain and apologize for his life choices. But this didn't seem to matter to him, as his spending habits were still as reckless as ever. Midway through the decline in viewership on his channel, Boogie decided to buy a $100,000 Tesla X. At first, he was ecstatic about buying his dream car, with a tweet reading, "I legit just bought a Tesla. This is my first new car in my lifetime. I am shaking baked, so excited." But soon after, reality set in. Boogie admitted in a tweet reading, "So, sitting here, realizing I just bought a car I can barely afford." He then tried to put a positive spin on things by saying, "You would think my anxiety would be going nuts. It isn't. I'm feeling confident that I can work harder every day and use that car and debt as an inspiration to create better content." However, his followers weren't convinced by this newfound optimism, with one replying, "Roundabout way to find confidence, but okay." Later, talking about the story of the purchase on stream, Boogie had a full meltdown, confessing that he couldn't afford the Tesla he had just purchased.
Saying, "Oh my god, I just put myself $100,000 in debt. My car payment's $1,700 a month. That's more money than I make on Twitch. Oh god, that's more money than I make through, that's like half of my YouTube ad revenue this month. Oh god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Why did I do this? Why did I put myself in $100,000 into debt?"
He would then turn to his viewers and, in classic Boogie style, try to manipulate them into helping him pay for his $100,000 Tesla.
So I tweeted out that I was not going to be able to afford this car. Reddit and Twitter lost their fucking minds. "Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?" The answer is yes. Give me some money. If you guys want to help me pay for my Tesla, please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a free fucking Tesla. Reach down in your pockets and give me $100,000 tonight.
Things then turned from bad to worse when Boogie mentioned that he hadn't even paid off the mortgage on his house yet.
I still owe $200,000 in the house.
All this coming from a man who used to preach about not, quote, living large, and spending most of his money on making better content for his viewers.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but we do not spend a grotesque amount of money.
Meanwhile, Boogie's downfall continued, and over the next year, his Patreon took a significant hit, with his membership numbers halving as he took even longer breaks from both YouTube and Twitch. But Boogie's efforts to ruin his own reputation didn't stop there, as he would end up committing a serious crime in the next few months. Now, Boogie has faced criticism and trolling throughout his career, which has often resulted in heated exchanges with his detractors. His frequent attempts to respond, whether through Twitter, Reddit, or his own videos, usually just ended up making matters worse. One of the most notorious situations occurred between 2020 and early 2021, when Boogie clashed with a disgraced YouTuber, Frank Hassel. Hassel, who had been banned from YouTube for harassing other creators.
Are you trans or something? Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I walk with you?
No, thank you.
Oh, why?
Because I would not like that.
Oh, okay. Where are you going? Are you going somewhere?
Can you please leave me alone?
Huh?
Please leave me
Oh,
alone.
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Frank blamed Boogie for his ban and publicly declared war against him on Twitter. Boogie initially tried to defuse the situation by privately messaging him, hoping to settle things without further escalation.
If you do plan harm, just leave my friends and my dog out of it. You are welcome to kill me. We should make a video together where I give you a pink belly until your stomach has friction burns. I would be glad to do that as long as you promise you don't mean me or my family any harm. I don't know if you're actually crazy or just pulling some Andy Kaufman shtick, but if it's the latter, I would be glad to participate in. If it's alright, my life is awful enough without your help. So I would appreciate it if you can maybe just let me suffer without it. I get that I am an easy target, but if you have any empathy at all, dude, pick another. I don't. I'm a sociopath. I'm demented and sick.
However, when this didn't work, Keemstar invited both Boogie and Hassel onto Drama Alert to settle their differences on air.
At another YouTuber. Now I want to explain how we got there, right? There is this YouTuber called Frank Hassel. Frank Hassel makes the type of content where he just goes up to random people on the street with a GoPro on his head and he starts harassing them. Recently, Frank's channel has been banned off of YouTube and he is blaming Boogie298 for it. He's been saying for months that he is going to catch Boogie in public and harass him in public.
Unfortunately, the interview spiraled out of control. Rather than resolving the conflict, both parties began issuing death threats, with each daring the other to quote, "try it." Unfortunately, I can't actually play the audio due to it containing multiple death threats and abusive language.
I had both of them on for an interview. Quite frankly, Boogie looks bad. He's threatening Frank's life if he shows up. And I didn't want to put that interview out because, you know, I was afraid that people would cause, this interview would cause people to harass and bully Boogie more.
The feud reached its breaking point when on September the 28th, 2020, Frank Castle took things from the virtual world into the real world. He posted on Twitter that he had arrived in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Boogie's hometown, with the clear intention of confronting him face to face.
Come on, you fucking pussy, what's the deal?
True to his word, Hassel went to Boogie's house later that day, fully prepared for a confrontation. Boogie, feeling threatened, responded by pulling out a firearm and firing a quote warning shot in Hassel's direction.
Where's the gun at, you fat Open fire!
You fat Oh my god. Is this real? Is this guy gonna kill me?
Yes.
This was incredibly dangerous, considering there was a school in Boogie's neighborhood and the bullet could have landed there. As you can imagine, the moment went viral on both YouTube and Twitter, which alerted authorities of the situation. And on the 11th of May 2021, just a few months after the event, the authorities put out a warrant for Boogie's arrest. The following day, Boogie turned himself into the police and was later released on the 1st of June 2021, following processing and bail. While all of this was happening, Boogie's financial situation was only worsening. He was already facing mounting debt, and he now had to dip into his funds to cover the legal fees as well. However, things took an unexpected turn when Boogie posted a video titled "I am rich, how crypto made me rich," where he claimed that a recent cryptocurrency investment had turned his fortunes around. It looked like Boogie's financial troubles were finally over, but as we would later find out, this was only the beginning of a much larger issue. Boogie's gamble in the volatile world of crypto would ultimately dig him into a deeper financial hole. In the "I am rich" video, Boogie explained that he had made a risky bet.
I basically took every dime I had in liquid funds and invested it in a huge gamble.
By investing most of his liquid earnings into crypto, and the gamble had paid off because he had basically doubled his money with the investment.
But I invested pretty much everything I had into cryptocurrency. And I pulled it out a couple of times and I put it back in a couple of times. So I probably didn't do as well as I could have, but I invested all the way back here. And yeah, that's where we currently are with that market. So to say that I doubled my money is an understatement. In fact, I did more than that.
But despite claiming that his financial problems were behind him, Boogie tried to coerce his audience into continuing to support him, even implying that he still needed financial help.
Never feel pressured to get one of those memberships down below. Never feel pressured to subscribe on Twitch. Never feel pressured to make a donation or interact with one of my sponsors. Never feel pressured to buy a t-shirt. But please buy a t-shirt because half of those proceeds go to my friend who made the art for it, Ninja Chris.
But as fate would have it, Boogie's time as a rich crypto man would be short-lived, because just a year ago he would post another video titled "I Need Your Help," in which he'd explain how he lost all the money he had earned from crypto and some of his savings by making a bad investment.
The bad reason is I'm finally in a position where I have to get back to work. And I'm not making any excuses here. You know I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things. But the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg. I took some financial advice from a friend, and I'm not pointing fingers necessarily. I took the advice, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything.
He would then ask his audience to help him keep the lights on through donations and by watching his videos.
So that's why I'm asking for your help today, and it's as simple as two groups of people here I want to talk to. The first of which is fans who just like the content. If you click on videos you like and you watch them to the end and you drop a like and you leave a comment and you share it with friends and you click the notifications, you do the YouTube stuff, you're doing plenty. There's a second group of people who might find themselves able to do a little more, and if you're one of those people, I'm asking for your help today too. Do you like the t-shirts I have? This one's not in the merch lane shop yet, but there's several, and I'm making new designs all the time.
And if you like a t-shirt, buy a t-shirt. I make like a $9 profit off of a $25 purchase.
As you can expect, the video was heavily criticized, with several commenters urging their fellow viewers to not give in to Boogie's requests, so that is forced to quote, get a real job like everyone else, with comments reading, as a life pro tip to any youngsters here, never ever donate money to anyone online. These people all have more than you and you'll end up going to work so they don't have to. I'm sorry Boogie, but you aren't the only one struggling. Get out there and get a job and earn your money. As well as, guys, this man is richer than most of us watching him, even after the mistakes he made. He squandered his money and wants an easy out. Do not feed into it. The world is cruel, and if you want to put your faith into something, give your money to trusted places that will actually help individuals who need it. Don't give in to pressure from financially irresponsible e-celebrities. Despite all of the mistakes and controversies Boogie found himself in over the years, there was still some in his audience who saw him as a guy who just had some bad luck. To them, he wasn't manipulative, just someone who had faced tough breaks, especially when it came to money and weight loss struggles. Well, in 2023, that persona would be shattered. In early 2023, it was announced that a documentary would be made on Boogie, capturing the events in his life from 2019 to 2021. The documentary was to be director Mike Klum's debut on YouTube, and in October 2023, the documentary titled The Dark, Sad Life of Boogie 2988 was officially released on the platform. The documentary quickly opened many of Boogie's fans' eyes, providing a deeper, more honest look into the man behind the YouTube persona. The doc revealed several startling details, especially when it came to Boogie's financial habits. One of the major revelations was where a significant portion of Boogie's money had gone. According to the documentary, between 2019 and 2021, Boogie spent over $200,000 on sex workers alone. He reportedly took them on vacations, brought them lavish gifts, and treated them to expensive dinners.
I took women on vacations, and I took them out to fancy dinners, and I took them to like Disneyland and shit.
All while apparently struggling to make ends meet on a monthly basis and paying off a mortgage on the house he lives in.
I deserve to go to New York and explore Times Square with a beautiful girl, right? Like, I deserve that. And I want that, and I've never had it. Man, if I had that money back, that would be half of my mortgage right now.
The documentary also featured an interview with one of the workers Boogie had hired, who confirmed the details Boogie had already admitted to. She recounted how Boogie had bought her a purse, gift cards, and dinner, all in one night, spending over $5,000.
He bought me dinner, he got me a purse that we were talking about over messages, and he got me a couple gift cards, and he spent well over $5,000 on just that night.
She further admitted to sleeping with Boogie later that evening in his hotel room.
We got back to the hotel, and I do regret to say that I slept with Boogie 2988.
The interview ended with the now famous line, which left a lasting impact on viewers.
I am now married with 2 kids, and
these revelations naturally hit Boogie's fans hard. However, what truly caught his audience off guard was Boogie's disturbing outlook on women, as revealed in the documentary.
It's not a revelation. I like beautiful women. I like to hang out with beautiful women. Beautiful women. We all do. I never got to do that. The women I dated were pretty, sure, but they were like Arkansas 8s, not LA 10s. With sugaring, I got to fuck some LA 10s, and I think that's cool.
He treated them almost like objects for his own amusement. But the biggest talking point to come out of the documentary was Boogie's controversial relationship with his then girlfriend Des, who was just 20 years old at the time, while Boogie was 49.
So this is Desi. You can call her Desiree.
Yep, Desiree.
We've been dating now for months.
A couple months,
Yeah.
For those who were already aware of their relationship, the documentary amplified their discomfort with the significant age gap. It gave viewers a behind-the-scenes look into their relationship, prompting some of them to comment on how concerned they were about Boogie manipulating this young girl into staying with him, with comments reading, "The way he showed her his entire medical overview and stressed how close he was to dying made my skin crawl. That is so much for a 50-year-old man to dump on a 20-year-old girl," as well as, quote, "He's not manipulating me," from a 20-year-old with clear emotional trauma depending on a narcissist in a position to abuse that trust. Plus, the revelation that Des had grown up in a broken home and had massive abandonment issues also made the situation more alarming.
Growing up without a father figure has its challenges.
like you just don't have that support system that you would and the advice that you need. And so it's just difficult. I don't ever want to be alone. That's another thing. Maybe that's why I have stuffed animals. I don't ever want to be alone.
Especially since Boogie is seen dumping all of his trauma on her and constantly scaring her that he might die during their relationship.
I really want you to understand how actually sick I am. Like, I don't know if you actually get it. But this is my health summary. This is everything that's currently wrong with me. My risk for stroke or heart attack is astronomical. I am essentially a walking time bomb. And I'm so f***ing sorry for that. I really, really wish I had taken better care of my body.
Yeah, I know.
Now, while the doc exposed Boogie for a lot of weird behavior, he did benefit in some way after its release. He immediately got back into the YouTube grind and started posting more regularly. However, something even bigger happened in the months that followed that would allow Boogie back on the path to financial stability: the creation of the now infamous podcast Lolcow Live. The podcast, set up by Keemstar, was designed to help Boogie get back on his feet financially and increase his channel's views. And for a time, the pod was Boogie's saving grace, giving him the means to generate an income and pay off the mortgage on his house and medical bills. But that wasn't the podcast's only purpose. You see, while the podcast was designed to help Boogie, it was also designed as a means to embarrass and demean Boogie for all the controversies, lies, and manipulation he had put his fans through. Basically, it was his punishment.
Look, I gotta. What's up, Boogie? What's up, man? How you doing? Are you all ready?
You got it.
Hit me. Don't hit the sign. Don't hit the
Hit his
bike.
ass! Oh, she missed! What? Yeah!
I cannot wait.
It's like our chat's gonna be like calling his local like police precinct right now. There's a drunk man on the side of the highway in a yellow vest.
Yo, why does his Crocs match his whole fit?
I'm over here wondering why didn't he put on like fucking tennis shoes?
But despite all of that, Boogie did not seem to learn his lesson, because what he did next alienated almost everyone who had remained by his side despite all of his previous controversies. On the 26th of June 2024, Boogie made an announcement on Twitter endorsing a new crypto meme coin, the Fatty token, and launching a free giveaway for anyone who replied to the tweet with their Solana wallet address. The next day, Boogie posted a video onto his channel in which he was parodying Andrew Tate. Due to Boogie's efforts, the coin saw a massive surge in value almost overnight, reaching the 3 million mark at one point. But its fall was just as sudden as its rise. The coin lost 90% of its value in one day, causing huge losses for anyone who had invested in it at Boogie's request, with a tweet from CoffeeZilla reading, "Your coin's value just went up." Then Fatty coin is down 90% in the last 24 hours, and the developers vanished, causing many people to label it as a pump and dump scheme that Boogie was in on. This resulted in even more outrage, especially since most of his audience remembered how he lost all of his money in crypto just 3 years prior. With the entire internet raging at Boogie, the matter was handed over to CoffeeZilla, the leading crypto scam investigator on YouTube, who decided to interview Boogie to unearth his involvement in the scam once and for all. The interview revealed that Boogie had taken a $10,000 payment to promote the scam coin.
You're going to get paid $10,000 for something, and those people aren't expecting a greater return on their investment. This is how meme coins work.
Their money back, but I mean, there are plenty of companies that I've worked with that are just there to get their name out.
When grilled about scamming his audience, Boogie played the victim card once again, stating that he had no idea it was a pump and dump scheme.
Well, I accept the fact that you're telling me I'm ripping people off, and I accept that that might very well be true, and I don't mean to be, and it was not my intention. My intention...
And that the entire thing was supposed to be a meme, and people weren't actually supposed to buy the coin.
That's the point. I thought it would go viral as a meme coin, as a joke, as a comedy bit. I thought that it would make people laugh. I thought people...
An investment is never a comedy. Like, people who are trying to tie comedy to investments, it's hilarious.
Make an investment. I didn't expect anybody to make a large...
When asked to return the money, Boogie revealed that he'd already spent it all on one of his medical debts because he was battling cancer.
The money's already spent. It's at Mercy Hospital right now. It's gone. I used it to pay debts. I use it to pay medical debt. So
You didn't have to tweet that tweet. You didn't have to tweet it out.
At this point, most of the internet knew that Boogie had been fighting cancer for almost 2 years. So even though his role in the scam made several of his fans angry, some of them were still willing to let him go out of pity. In fact, his cancer is one of the reasons why so many of his fans have continued to send him donations and purchase his memberships, despite his many controversies and questionable statements. So it came as quite a shock to the small few that remained when questions started being raised about Boogie's cancer diagnosis, questions that Boogie was unable to answer. It all started on the 11th of July 2024, on a star-studded episode of LolCow Live when the YouTuber Destiny joined the call and instantly called Boogie out on faking his cancer diagnosis.
Boogie, 2488, you are being confronted tonight.
Go ahead.
I am 99% sure that you are faking.
No, don't move.
You are faking your cancer diagnosis, Boogie.
Okay, let's hear that.
To give you a bit of context here, Boogie had announced on his channel a year ago that he had polycythemia vera, a rare form of leukemia that causes his body to produce too many red blood cells.
Turns out I got a rare blood cancer called polycythemia vera, which basically makes your body produce too many red blood cells.
Destiny was refuting that claim, indicating that instead of having polycythemia vera, Boogie had secondary polycythemia, a condition that also resulted in the increased production of red blood cells, but was not a form of cancer.
That Boogie was told that he has polycythemia, which means he has an elevation of his red blood cells. Now, there is a cancer known as polycythemia vera, which is caused by a mutation in some part of your body that causes an elevation of 3 different levels of things you'll find. One of those is the red blood cell count. However, when Boogie was talking about the polycythemia, he mentioned a couple things that I thought were interesting. The first was that taking an exogenous hormone, TRT, testosterone, that caused an increase in him developing this condition. So taking testosterone will not cause you to develop a cancer. That doesn't, not for this particular cancer, it won't. It will cause you to develop secondary polycythemia. The second thing that he mentioned was that his doctor ordered a sleep study. That's because one of the things that can cause your body to produce more red blood cells is if you have hypoxemia, which is a lower count of, or a low amount of oxygen in your blood for an extended period of time. And the reason why he ordered that sleep study is probably because Boogie either has pulmonary obstructive something, or he has, as he mentioned, sleep apnea. And sleep apnea, which is a decrease in oxygen overnight, can lead to a decrease in oxygen in your blood, which can lead to an increase in the production of red blood cells. All of the things that Boogie described, both the things that cause this and the treatments for it, are consistent with secondary polycythemia.
Boogie obviously rejected this explanation by claiming that his doctor had told him that he had polycythemia vera.
It is secondary polycythemia.
Well, then
can you explain?
Why would he call it polycythemia vera? Why would he tell me that I have hormone markers in my blood that tells me I have polycythemia vera?
At this point, the rest of the call starts asking to see Boogie's medical papers so they can put the whole situation to bed right there.
Yes. Boogie, you won't keep saying you're the patient, you know what your body has.
Yes.
When I go to the doctor, they give me like this, which is like papers that will tell me.
And I was going to say, Boogie can have this whole thing. Tell me a single document with polycythemia vera on it. You don't have one. I don't think the doctor ever diagnosed you with it.
But Boogie would continuously refuse to do so, while getting noticeably angrier.
I'm never showing any of these motherfuckers my medical papers. Go f yourself. I said that 2 years ago, and I'm staying by it now. Destiny, Jackson Clark, Keemstar, you can see it when I fucking die. It's my fucking goddamn medical record. I've given you every goddamn phone call.
Things would take an even more chaotic turn when Destiny proceeded to put up a bounty of $5,000 to see Boogie's medical records.
If Boogie can confirm, that he has polycythemia vera, and he actually has like a doctor confirmation of the blood cancer, I'll throw $5,000 towards his medical treatment. I'll make that personal pledge right now.
But Boogie would refuse once again.
No, you need the money. You're not seeing my medical records for 20, not for 50. You're not seeing my medical records.
$5,000.
I said this. I said this a year ago.
This came at a huge shock, considering Boogie was prepared to scam his audience with a scam coin for just $10,000 a month prior, and had developed a reputation for doing almost anything for money. Meanwhile, the situation continued to escalate, with YouTubers Mr. Mitoker and Mudaha from Some Ordinary Gamers also joining the call, and putting up their own money to bring the bounty up to $25,000.
Some ordinary gamers will also put $10,000 towards it.
Make it 100. Make it $1 million.
If you have cancer, if you prove that
this is bullshit. No. You got 25K sitting on the table. There's something
going on here.
Yeah, the something is, man. I'm just exhausted. I'm done.
Still, Boogie refused, and the only reason he presented for refusing was to protect the last bastion of privacy he had left.
Just continue to LARP. I would rather you motherfuckers continue to LARP than to have
Yeah, well,
the
well,
last
here's the
goddamn thing. The last
You're the one-
goddamn thing.
you're the one
last
accused of
piece
LARPing.
Insecurity I have in the fucking world.
You're the one being
So the
accused of
easy,
LARPing.
This made the entire incident even more suspicious, since Boogie has made the habit of broadcasting every minor detail of his personal life on the internet. For the next few days, several YouTubers, including Keemstar and Mutaha, would continue to ask Boogie to admit that he did not have polycythemia vera on Lolcow Live, and Boogie would eventually cave, finally admitting that his polycythemia vera diagnosis had never been confirmed, and losing what little fan following he had left in the process.
I already looked it up on the web portal. I already screenshotted it. It's a matter of just fucking dropping that in the group chat. Just so you know, but we're not fucking doing that. But look, right there.
You don't even have to do it in a
see those
group
words
chat.
right
You can
there?
send it
You see those
individually
words
to
right
one of
there?
them.
Just send it to me.
No.
Send it to me.
Fuck you.
4 days ago, you were looking at it.
Yeah,
but you
4
weren't gonna
days ago you said you were looking at it.
Like
So
I
it's
told you,
it's
I
not
spent
on
the
me.
last.
He did, and I remember he specifically said, "I'm looking right at it, but I refuse to share it with you."
That's what the first part of this was.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
Uh,
him saying that.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I spent the last 2 years getting treated for it. I've been told by my doctor for the last
It's
2 years.
fine,
this is
Boogie.
fake.
Just admit it's not on the portal.
It's not on there. I told you this.
Okay.
At this point, it's no secret that Boogie had burned his last bridge with his fans, and the comments on his recent videos reflect that perfectly, with most of them calling him out for all the controversy and lying he has been involved in, with comments reading, "Here's Boogie shopping after he was crying last year about not making his house payment and bills trying to get money out of people. It never ends with him." I like how he reminds viewers he's broke the whole video, as well as, for Halloween, Boogie should dress up as the guy with polycythemia vera. Surprisingly, it does seem like Boogie's taking some responsibility for his actions by getting the word liar tattooed on his face as a punishment for lying about cancer.
I'm a 50-year-old man with a face tattoo now. Yeah. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 50. This is how I spend my birthday, everybody. And I deserve it. I get it. I get it.
But honestly, it's too little too late. While this is likely the end of Boogie's YouTube career, he is still posting videos and trying to revive his channel. But whether or not his channel will start growing again is a mystery that only time can tell. Make sure you subscribe to stay updated on the situation. Moving beyond individual drama, Nas Daily found himself embroiled in controversy on an international scale. Blasphemous HD, Illuminati, Master Oogway. These are just a few of the many examples of YouTubers who were once at the top of the world, but who lost their audience and came crashing back down to earth. However, fewer faced a more drastic downfall than Nas Daily. He went from racking up millions of views per video at his peak to struggling to hit 100,000 despite having 13 million subscribers. Believe it or not, but Nas was a big deal at one point. He was inescapable on YouTube. No matter where you looked, you'd eventually come across Nas with his massive grin and black t-shirt, covering an obscure yet interesting topic.
I found a man who is a human calculator.
Hi, I'm Scott Flansburgh, and I'm faster than any calculator on the planet Earth.
He can add numbers faster than he can talk, and he never graduated from high school. How did he learn?
Most importantly, Nas and his content was actually loved by the audience, with a comment on one of his older videos reading, "I'm much obliged to Nas for such inspiring videos, giving a light of goodness in everyone's heart watching him. I wish that this channel reached to every individual sharing this land." Fast forward to today, and almost all of his videos have a horrible like to dislike ratio, regardless of their topic. The love and respect people once had for him and his content has now turned into widespread seething hatred. One person on Twitter wrote, "Is it weird that I hate Nas Daily more than anyone else on earth? I mean, he makes videos, which is ultimately not that big a deal, but when I see his face, I feel like I'm going to have a stroke." And unsurprisingly, almost everyone in the replies agreed with the OP sentiment. So what happened? How did Nas manage to turn such a massive audience against himself, effectively ending his career? Well, it might have something to do with his unchecked ego, narcissism, and a tendency to exploit others' culture and religion for content. But to get the full picture of how he reached this point, we first have to step back and start from the very beginning. Nusser Yassin, aka Naz, was born to an Arab Muslim family of Palestinian descent that was living in the small city of Araba, Israel. And while this detail might seem insignificant at first, it would later play a pivotal role in his ultimate downfall. At the age of 19, he successfully got into Harvard for aerospace engineering. His degree of choice also inspired him to upload his first YouTube video in November of 2012, titled Operation Skyfall: First Hamburger in Space. As the name suggests, this was a video of Naz and friends from Harvard attaching a hamburger to a weather balloon and sending it 30,000 meters into space.
2, 1.
This became a bigger success than Naz could have ever imagined, earning over 500,000 views in less than 20 days. Although this didn't motivate Naz to start uploading regularly, it did reveal the massive potential audience that was waiting on YouTube. So, 4 years after his first upload, Naz returned to the internet, this time with the explicit goal of becoming a content creator. He started a fairly unique vlog series on Facebook in which he uploaded a minute-long video every single day while showcasing interesting things from around the world. The series lasted for 1,000 daily videos until January of 2019, with his Facebook page gaining over 12 million followers. A month later, he started a new series of weekly videos on YouTube. These new videos were longer and had much better production quality.
20 million people. 20 million people visit one city every year. And that city is not London, New York, or Mumbai. That city is a small dot on the map called...
And that's when he started seeing mainstream levels of success. Many of these longer videos went super viral, gaining millions of views and propelling Maz onto the forefront of YouTube. But it didn't take long for this empire to begin unraveling, ultimately resulting in the pitiful state it is today. However, unlike many other YouTubers who immediately fell off after a single big controversy, Naz's decline is due to a series of massive blunders over the years, like when he got caught trying to exploit an elderly tattoo artist to make a quick buck. In July of 2021, Naz uploaded a video titled World's Oldest Tattoo Artist. The video featured a 103-year-old tattoo artist from the Philippines named Apo Wang Od, who relied on traditional methods like using thorns instead of modern machinery for her art.
In the jungles of the Philippines, there is a woman who is 103 years old. She is the oldest tattoo artist in the world, and she doesn't use a tattoo machine, and she doesn't let you choose your own tattoo.
This was a classic Naz Daily style video, with nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until you peeked into the video's description and found this. For today's video, we flew all the way to the highlands of the Philippines to bring you this story. And what's even better is that we convinced Wang Od to become a teacher. So she is now officially teaching on Naz Academy. Put simply, Naz was offering a tattoo course from Wang Od on his own education platform called Naz Academy. And this was great. Naz got more people to visit his site, Wang Od got the opportunity to share her art with the world, and the people who were interested in traditional tattooing got to learn it directly from the master. It was a win-win situation for everyone. However, it wasn't long before things took an unexpected turn. On August 4th, 2021, someone claiming to be Wang Od's relative made a revelation about his tattooing course on Facebook, stating, "Warning, Wang Od Academy is a scam. My grandmother did not sign any contract with Naz Daily to do any academy. Some people are taking advantage of our culture. Please help us stop this disrespect to the legacy of Apo Wang Od and the Buttbot tribe." In response, Naz uploaded a video showing Wang Od putting her thumbprint on the contract. This was also accompanied by a now deleted statement from Nas, reading, "We approached Wang Od because, just like you, we love her. We love her traditions and are inspired by her. We wanted to share her culture for future generations to appreciate and respect the ancient Kalinga tradition of Mamba Batok. So we pitched her family with the idea of creating Wang Od Academy. Her and her family both loved this idea and have worked with us to build it, with Wang Od teaching herself. As a matter of fact, Wang Od's trusted niece, Estella Palangdao, was present and translated the contents of the contract prior to Wang Od affixing her thumbprint, signifying her full consent to the project. This is the clearest evidence that it is not a scam and achieved the consent of her and her immediate family. Now, this could have been a fairly decent response to the allegations. However, the way Nas ended this statement only caused more anger. It read, "40% of Nas Academy is made up of Filipinos, so for us, this is personal. We deeply care about the Philippines and respect the many cultures and traditions that exist across the country." Maybe this was his effort to seem more credible to the outraged Filipino viewers. Most people compared his reasoning to the kind racists use, like saying, "I'm not prejudiced, I have friends from that group," which only fueled more outrage. Things got even worse when Gracia, the person who originally called out Nas Academy, made another post on Facebook stating, "Hello everyone, Wang Od Academy is not real. I spoke to her and she said she did not understand what the translators were saying. I'm sorry to tell you, she will not be joining the @Nas Daily. I know you have some good intentions of sharing our culture to the next generation. However, our village concern is that some people are profiting and exploiting our art and culture. I know you spoke to someone and gave some money and will share profits, but Apo Wang Od is not aware of your contract. Hope you sort this out. Thank you, have a nice day." This went against everything Nas was saying, and after getting even more backlash, he immediately sent a team to the Philippines to reach a mutual understanding with Wang Od and her family. Credit where credit's due, he did take action to fix the issue, but that still doesn't answer why all this happened in the first place. If Gracia hadn't spoken out against the injustice, Nas would have likely continued selling the Wang Od course on his website without fairly compensating her. However, this wasn't the only time he'd incur wrath on his Filipino audience. A day after Gracia made her original post, a Filipino farmer named Louise Mabalu also came forward with the story of her encounter with Nas Daily. Louise was the creator of the Cacao Project, a non-profit aimed at fighting deforestation by providing better support and education to the farmers. And according to Louise, Nas wanted to make a video on her project, but when he reached the site, he had some nasty things to say about the Filipinos, like farmers are so poor, and why are Filipinos so poor? She also accused him of not releasing the video on the project because in his eyes it wasn't entertaining enough. He didn't care about raising awareness towards real issues and was only concerned about the number of views his videos would get. Louise's post went viral, fueling even more backlash from around the world for his downright racist remarks, with comments reading, "Nas Daily is a liar," as well as, "Nas Daily hates the Philippines." In response, Nas uploaded a video denying the allegations, while also claiming that the entire Cacao Project is nothing but a facade.
On paper, it was supposed to be a non-profit that helps farmers. In reality, it's a for-profit that exploits farmers.
From there, this whole controversy slowly faded into internet obscurity, but the damage was already done. Regardless of how true Louise's allegations were, a big chunk of the internet now saw Nas as nothing more than a privileged racist. And while all that was going on, Nas managed to get himself into yet another controversy, this time for shamelessly presenting crypto scammers as the most kind-hearted people in the world. On November 12, 2021, Nas uploaded a now-deleted YouTube video titled "The Most Generous Bitcoin Billionaire." The video painted the founder of the FTX crypto exchange, Sam Bankman-Fried, in an extremely positive light, almost short of calling him the best person ever to live.
Guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world, and I found him.
Hi, my name is Sam, and this is my story.
Sam has crazy hair. Sam is vegan. Sam sleeps 5 hours a night. Sam lives in the Bahamas with 10 roommates. Sam is 29 years old only, but Sam has $22 billion. and he wants to donate all of it to charity.
Later, in May of 2022, Naz posted a similar video titled Most Humble Crypto Billionaire, this time with Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, which was the most popular crypto exchange at the time. And just like with Sam Bankman-Fried, the video was filled to the brim with Naz showering endless amounts of praise on Zhao.
This is the richest guy in the world from crypto, and you don't even know him.
Hi, my name is CZ.
He made over $60 billion, but his mom still called him stupid. Incredible story.
Both of these videos looked like ads focused on improving the image of the two crypto billionaires. However, there was no mention of these being paid promotion.